Welcome to today's deep dive. So imagine getting a multi-million-dollar mortgage completely wiped out by the bank, just zeroed out, entirely gone.
Wow! I mean, that would be unbelievable, right?
Right. But then, on your way home to celebrate, you track down a friend who owes you like $5 for coffee, and you brutally harass them for it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds completely absurd when you put it like that.
It really does.
Yeah.
But that is actually the core of this May 5th message from Pastor Huzi Gang that we're looking at today.
Exactly. We're unpacking this concept from Matthew 5:7 called the cycle of mercy.
Because, well, we are incredibly quick to accept massive grace for ourselves, but we're strangely hesitant to pass even a tiny fraction of it on to others.
Oh, totally. And to understand why we do this, the source points us to this primary story about an unpayable debt.
Yeah, the parable in Matthew 18. So a king forgives his servant a debt of 10,000 talents.
And just to put that in perspective, 10,000 talents was roughly 10 million silver pieces.
Wow, so just a massive, mind-boggling amount.
Yeah, a historically absurd, literally impossible sum for any normal person to ever repay.
Okay, so this guy gets the ultimate bailout. But the moment he's off the hook, he goes and finds a peer who owes him a measly 10 silver pieces.
Right, just 10.
And he literally chokes the guy. He throws him in jail because he can't pay.
Which is wild. And naturally, word gets back to the king, who then throws that first servant right into prison.
Right. So the source text draws on some notes from theologian John MacArthur here to clarify a major misconception about this whole interaction.
Yeah, the big takeaway is that showing mercy to that coworker who owes you 10 silver pieces, well, it doesn't earn you forgiveness from the king.
Wait, so it's not a transaction?
Not at all. Granting mercy is just the mandatory, inevitable result of having received infinite mercy yourself.
But hang on, if this mercy is a free gift we can't earn, why does the text strongly imply that God's continued forgiveness is conditional?
You mean like in the Lord's Prayer?
Yeah, exactly, where it says, "Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors." It sounds very conditional based on how we treat others.
I mean, it does sound that way, but MacArthur's notes suggest it's less about a strict condition to keep the gift and more about proving you actually received it in the first place.
Oh, I see. Like, if you are entirely incapable of showing grace, it reveals that you haven't truly internalized the grace you were given.
Exactly. You just haven't entered that cycle of mercy yet.
Okay, so if we are required to show this grace, the natural next question is, well, who exactly deserves it?
Right. And the pastor answers this by pointing straight to the Good Samaritan story.
Yeah, so a traveler gets robbed and left for dead on the road. And the people you'd fully expect to help, like a priest and a Levite, they just walk right by.
Which is a crucial detail. I mean, the original audience would have expected the religious elite to be the heroes there.
Yeah, walking by was completely scandalous.
Totally. The real cultural shock comes when a Samaritan, someone historically viewed by that audience as an outsider and a bitter enemy, actually gets his hands dirty and saves the man.
Right, the Samaritan didn't, like, check for shared theology before stepping up to help.
No, he didn't. And the text really emphasizes that neighbors aren't these theoretical concepts.
They're the actual people in your life right now.
Yes, your coworkers, your family members, or, the vulnerable people living next door who might completely lack your background or beliefs.
The source points out a wild paradox in how we are supposed to live here.
Oh, about the standards we set.
Yeah, we are instructed to hold these incredibly strict standards of self-control and holiness for ourselves. But we are commanded to apply maximum leniency and grace to others.
And we usually do the exact opposite in reality. I mean, we demand justice for everyone else, but we beg for mercy for ourselves.
Right, it's so backward.
It is. Applying this demanding cycle of mercy means flipping that script entirely. It means actively seeking out the injured traveler in your own workplace or family, even if they've wronged you.
I mean, look, we all have those 10 silver piece grudges we're holding on to right now.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe it's a passive-aggressive coworker or, a family member who slighted you years ago and just refuses to apologize.
Yeah, and it feels incredibly unfair to forgive someone who isn't even sorry.
We justify holding on to it because, well, technically they do owe us an apology. But compared to what's been wiped from our own ledgers in this framework, it's just a fraction of a fraction.
That's a sobering thought. I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over today as we wrap up.
Yeah, let's hear it.
If forcing others to pay their debts keeps us obsessively focused on the past and what we are owed, does true unearned forgiveness actually free us to build a completely different future?
That's a great question, because if we don't forgive, we're kind of just trapping ourselves.
Exactly. If we keep choking our friends over a $5 coffee, we might just be locking ourselves in a prison of our own making.